Over the last few months, I've realised something really important. If I want to keep enjoying photography for many years to come, I think I need to change the way that I shoot. Now, this isn't because I've fallen out of love with landscape photography or because I'm chasing the latest bit of camera equipment. In fact, it's actually quite the opposite. I'm enjoying photography more now than I think I have done for a long time. But I think I've reached a point where I need to start thinking a little less about what I can carry and a bit more about what I actually need to carry. So hello and welcome to another video. Now I'm out for a wander this morning with my camera in this amazing woodland. Today is going to be, I guess, a little bit different. So rather than focusing on a particular location or piece of gear, I thought I would bring you along while I try to figure something out. The reason for that is I've been struggling with a shoulder injury recently, and it's kind of made me take a step back and really think about the way that I photograph. You know, carrying a heavy camera bag for miles isn't quite, I guess, as enjoyable as it used to be, and rather pushing through that kind of pain, if you will, I think it's probably time for me to adapt a little bit. Now, the funny thing is though, this has kind of led me down a very interesting pathway. So over the last year or so, I've found myself enjoying a combination of landscape and wildlife photography more than ever before. You know, I'll head out hoping to photograph, say, a landscape, and before I know it, I'm stopping to photograph birds or insects or kind of whatever else catches my eye along the way. And I've realised I really enjoy that slower, more observant way that I work. And because of that, I've started asking myself a simple question. What's the lightest setup that I can carry that still allows me to create the photographs that I enjoy the most? And I think that's what I'd like to explore in this video. You know, I'm going to share a few ideas I think that I've been thinking about, you know, some of the changes I'm considering making, and I'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts as well, because I know many of you have probably been photographing for a long time, and I'm sure some of you have gone through something very similar as well. So yeah, let's head a little further along this trail, see if we can make a few photographs today and have a chat about what I think might be potentially the start of a new chapter. So the forecast is for fog this morning, hence the reason I'm in the woodland, and I'd say it's touch and go at the minute. Yeah, the forecast is for about 89% to be precise, fog at around about 7 AM. It's about 5:30 right now. Sun is just coming up, and there's definitely some atmosphere in the air, but I just don't know. You know, it's one of those mornings, it could go either way. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that we can probably make some photos here. It's absolutely beautiful. The bird song has been fantastic this morning as well. And I think the first thing I want to discuss is this, which is my tripod. And this weighs a fair bit, and that's mainly to do with the fact that I have a geared head. And I absolutely love this geared head. It allows me to be very precise with my compositions, which is something I really like to do, especially in the woodland, but it's very weighty. Yeah, I think that's one area I would definitely like to consider making some changes to, is the tripod. Now, one of the things I've been thinking about doing is actually taking the geared head off and putting the original head on that came with this Falcon tree root tripod, because that in itself is a lot lighter. It doesn't give you quite the same amount of control, but it is definitely lighter. So that's one thing I could do. Or potentially I could go with a completely different tripod, more of a travel lightweight tripod. Or I could go completely tripod free, which is definitely an option I'm thinking about actually, because I've been using the OM1 Mark II a lot more recently, and yeah, the stabilisation in it is fantastic. In fact, I had a bit of a light bulb moment a few weeks ago when I was out shooting, and I managed to get a 1 second exposure at around about a 40 mil, something like that, which is full frame equivalency, that's about 80 mils. Yeah, I was quite surprised that I was able to get a sharp image at 1 second at that focal length. So it's a bit of a game changer, I think. It's kind of made me realise that maybe I don't need to carry a tripod at all. I think I might have found a shot here. I'm just not really sure about it. Oh wow, there's a buzzard. There's a buzzard. Right, I'm going to get my telephoto lens out really quietly. See if we can get a shot of this buzzard. One thing I have noticed with the 2x converter, if the light is flat, typically it's quite difficult to get a really sharp image. Really, it does require nice light, I think, but hopefully we can get a nice shot. There is some nice, soft, early morning light on him. So yeah, right, I'm gonna make haste and see if I can get a shot. So that was a lovely moment, but the light on the subject that I was going to shoot is no longer there. So I'm just going to wander down this track and see if I can find something else. The mist and fog hasn't showed up yet either, but that really doesn't matter. Now, I think what happened back there was a classic example of not being ready to take this shot. And I think that's something I really want to change. I think what I really want to do is carry my wildlife setup with me at all times. So if I see something, I'm ready to react to capture it. What a peaceful morning it is. Now, I've noticed a few of the ferns dying off in this woodland, and we've had a really, really hot spell here in the UK over the last few weeks. And yeah, some of the ferns are starting to look autumnal already. Yeah, take a look. As much as I love autumn, I'm not quite ready for it yet. I want to enjoy the summer. So yeah, hopefully things will cool down a bit over the next few weeks or so. But I've got a sort of few ideas I just want to talk about in terms of reducing the weight, which might help, you know, take the pressure off my shoulder. And if you're wondering, my shoulder's fine. Like, I just had a surfing injury, which happened about 4 years ago, and I kind of jolted it funny, and it took about 6 months to heal. And then it was absolutely fine. I could get back to doing what I was doing. But yeah, it's just seemed to have resurfaced recently and given me a bit of jip. Let's get the bag open, and I just want to explain a few things. Now, this isn't a what's in my camera bag video, but I have got a few bits and bobs in here that I might be able to get rid of if I shoot more with the OM1 Mark II. So yeah, like I mentioned, I've been shooting with this camera quite a lot recently, mainly because of the stabilization, which is absolutely fantastic, and also the computational features that are built into this camera. So yeah, it has live NDs, which are really cool, and I think they look just as good as using a conventional filter. Which begs the question, do I need to carry these in my bag? You know, these don't weigh a huge amount, but they do take up a rather fair sized compartment in my bag here. So that might be something that I could sort of discard. I don't think I could get rid of the polarizer, so I'd need to keep that, but I could just take the polarizer out of here. And as you can see, it's tiny, isn't it? It can just slide into a little pocket or something like that. So potentially I could get rid of my filters and just use the computational features that are built into the OM1 Mark II. So a little bit of weight saving, a little bit of space saving. But this one is, I think, the main point. Do I need to carry the tripod? Because yeah, like I mentioned, I can get a 1 second exposure. The image stabilization on this is absolutely incredible. And I very, very rarely find myself shooting slower than a second. Very, very rarely. Typically for like moving water shots, I'm shooting somewhere between, say, 1/4 of a second and maybe like up to 1/30th of a second, just to show some motion, depending on how quickly, you know, the water is moving. So yeah, I'm not sure that I really need the tripod anymore. I enjoy using one, but do I need it? And I think that is something that, yeah, I keep asking myself. So I think I might be experimenting more and more in the coming months, you know, just shooting handheld and just seeing how I get on with it, you know, see if I find it as enjoyable. Because at the end of the day, you know, photography is all about enjoying yourself, isn't it? So, you know, if I find that I'm just not enjoying my photography without it, then obviously I'll have to go back and maybe look at getting a more lightweight version. But yeah, food for thought. Please do let me know in the comments what you would do in my situation, or maybe you have had a similar situation to mine and you've kind of reduced what you carry. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what sort of gear you're using, or if you've got any recommendations for me going forward. Anyway, I'm going to take a little bit of a wander, see if we can find something else. It'd be really nice to get a woodland shot today, but yeah, the sun is well and truly up now, and the signs of mist are, yeah, non-existent. So this is the area that I was hoping to shoot this morning, but I think it really does need some fog. And yeah, we just don't have that. Damn forecast. So beautiful. Got to be able to make a photograph here, surely. I think sometimes when you look at a forecast and you kind of go out with something specific in mind and it doesn't happen, it's very easy just to write the morning off, or whatever time of day it is that you're shooting, and just kind of go home empty-handed, isn't it? But I'm a firm believer there's always a photograph to be had if you adapt to the conditions. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So I've been contemplating making a photograph in this woodland, experimenting, and nothing has presented itself to me. I've really tried hard as well, but the conditions are just not ideal for shooting the wider scene. So I've put the 50-200 on, and I've come across this glade of knapweed and meadowsweet, which is all in full bloom, which looks absolutely wonderful. And I'm hopeful I can make a shallow depth field type image here where I just isolate some of the flowers and hopefully make a nice creative photograph. So that's what I'm trying to go for here. My idea is that I'm going to get quite low down and just shoot through it and try to isolate some of the buds against these wonderful green textures. So yeah, I think we can make a shot here. Sometimes this type of photography can be a little bit more tricky than you first think, because even though there's a glade of flowers here, you know, we're really looking for some kind of isolation or pattern, repetition, or a really clean background that will make the flowers stand out. And that's not always easy, especially when you're using a very, very shallow depth of field, trying to isolate those subjects, especially when there's so many flowers as well, because you can kind of focus in on one flower, think that looks really nice, and then move a little bit and not be able to find the flower again. So it's quite tricky. Now I've noticed there's quite a lot of butterflies as well. Oh, there's a hummingbird moth. Let me put you down. Let me put you down. I need to capture this. It keeps moving. Be very careful not to damage anything, but it's just over here. See if I can get a shot. I'm literally, so I've just put the camera on my bird detection setting, 2,500th of a second, probably not quick enough, but I don't mind if it shows a little bit of motion in the, there it is. Continuous burst mode. Where's it gone? Continuous burst mode. 2,500th of a second. We've got a nice light at the minute. I could go a bit faster, but I quite like to show a little bit of motion in the wings, just because they're, where's it gone? There it is. So I think I got a shot, but it was moving so quickly. They're like way faster than any bird. It's just absolutely unreal. But there is a lot of butterflies in this area now as well, so I might see if I can maybe capture a few butterflies. There's a few ringlets, a couple of red admirals. I've seen a peacock as well. So yeah, it's a lovely little area, this. And when you sort of deep dive into a little section of, you know, wildflowers or woodland like this, you can get lost for hours, can't you? Especially when the insects come out and you get some nice light. So yeah, so I've thoroughly enjoyed my last sort of 30 minutes down here. It's been fantastic. Before I wrap things up, I'd just like to mention that we've recently launched 2 brand new photography tours for spring 2027. I'll be leading the tours alongside Henry as we explore both my home county of Pembrokeshire and the beautiful landscapes of North Wales. If you'd like to join us, you'll find all of the details via the link in the description, or you can simply scan the QR code on your screen. Please do take a look at the webpage where you'll find everything you need to know about the tours. It will be wonderful to meet you in person, spend some time exploring these incredible locations together, and hopefully help you come away with some photographs you're really proud of. Yes, it would be great to see you on the tour. So I've got a lot to think about, I think, over the next few months, just about how I want to approach my photography. I don't want to limit myself. I want to be able to go out and capture everything: wildlife, insects, plant life, landscapes, just everything, and just enjoy the process. But I don't want to carry tons of gear as well. So yeah, I think this system is definitely making sense for me at the minute, and I'm really enjoying using it actually. But I do think I need to concentrate on maybe reducing the weight in my pack, so maybe discarding filters, discarding tripod, lighter clothing perhaps, lighter bags. Yeah, lots to talk about, lots to discuss. Please do let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'd love to know. If you've got any suggestions, I'd love to know them as well. It'd be more than helpful. So yeah, please do drop a comment below. As always, thank you so much for watching this week's video. I know it's been a bit of a ramble, but I do hope you enjoyed it in some way. It's been a pleasure to be out here once again. So yeah, hope to see you again next week. Take care.